Voice on this story. Nour Eldeen Al-Hammoury joins us, market strategist at ADS Securities, live from Abu Dhabi. Nour, just give us your sense of how these markets are behaving. Does this feel like rational and orderly selling in the 250 and in some of these other European indices?
Good morning, and thank you for having me today. Well, of course, the first panic, I guess, is already priced in. We have seen last week on Friday a major sell-off in all of the global equities. But today, if you look at the Asian session today, we've seen some sort of a support or some sort of to another leg higher. But I guess this is again one of the reasons of why we've seen some sort of an upward is because of the reassurance of the central bankers or central banks chiefs, including Japan, including also the Bank of England, and also maybe the Fed. We'll see in the next few days or in the next few weeks. So I guess right now, after this panic attack or after the panic that we have seen, there's going to be a short-term, maybe a stabilization, as long as the dialogue or the reassurance from the central bank's chiefs. I guess the market will stabilize at some point, but the downward pressure is likely to continue. But it would be, I would say, gradually and not in a one-way trade.
So what are you watching in terms of catalysts to step back into the market in a bolder way? Do we need to see, beyond the reassurance from central bankers, do we actually need to see a rate cut here in the UK, or perhaps Mark Carney making a commitment to buy assets?
Yeah, well, I guess by saying a reassurance, they're assuring the market might not be or might not even react that much to it. But so far, we've seen some sort of a reaction. But the central banks, or especially the Bank of England, might need to cut rates at some point. Maybe at the end of this year, especially that there's a lot of reports right now saying that the UK or the people in the UK voted to go back or to slide back into recession. So with this kind of stuff, with this kind of things that might happen, I guess there might be more than a rate cut. It might be maybe or increasing the asset purchases facility again, or to cut the rates even further.
No, we saw on Friday this huge sell-off. $2 trillion worth of assets were sold off as well. Some may say it was slightly indiscriminate, and in those situations you sell what you can, not what you have to as well. So now that the dust is a little bit settling on that burst of volatility, my goodness me, we've probably still got more still to come. Which assets do you think have been mispriced by the market?
I guess safe haven assets basically missed it a little bit, or we haven't seen that much uptick in gold, silver, or even the only one that we've seen a very huge move in it was the yen, which basically climbed all below the 100. But I guess silver and gold is still underpriced, especially with this kind of risk of exiting the EU or the UK leaving the EU. In addition to that, there's still a risk of more referendums in the EU. We have also some reports saying that Scotland might be the next one to leave the UK. And also France is calling for a referendum, or some of the opposition is calling for a referendum. So I guess gold and silver are still underpriced, and we might see some sort of another rally in the next few weeks. That's one of the major two metals that we were looking for.
Nour, great to speak to you today. Thank you very much indeed for your time on Street Signs. And Nour Eldeen Al-Hammoury, who is a market strategist at ADS Securities. Good to hear you, sir. Right, let's move on to comments from Christine Lagarde, the IMF chief, says UK policymakers must move fast to reduce further